Hello, welcome to the quarterfinals against Qsenoch. I didn't start the recording immediately because I forgot, so I'll try my best to give you a quick summary of what happened in the game to this point. We both opened Warehouse Potion, both got an Apothecary very early, both went for, I believe, a turn 5 or 6 inheritance on warehouses, after which we both bought Hagglers, and then proceeded to get Groundskeepers, haggling, often conspirator but sometimes procession and leprechaun. Few differences in the deck. I have a ghost. My opponent does not have a ghost. And also my opponent used a cemetery to trash effectively 4 coppers from their deck. 3 and a haunted mirror, whereas I still have all of my coppers. I did get rid of my haunted mirror, of course, because I have the ghost. So that is the main difference in our decks. Also, another main difference is that I won the groundskeeper split 6-4, so I was very happy about that. Anyways, we are here at this point where I started to record, um, and we are halfway through the provinces. I have 2 of them, and so does my opponent. And I have an extra haggler or 2 from processing conspirators. I believe so. My opponent also has 2 hagglers, so we both processed conspirators. The idea with the procession was to try to process conspirator to get groundskeepers, but once the groundskeepers ran out, you would be forced to gain hagglers, which honestly is not terrible. So my deck is a bit bigger than my opponent's because I kept more coppers than him. Whereas his is a bit thinner, perhaps a bit more consistent. And another big difference is that he has 3 apothecaries to my 1. That's just how the game played out. I would have loved to pick up more apothecaries, but that is not the case. Anyways, so province and silver for my opponent. The reason for the silver is because it gives him palace points. This turn was not the greatest for me. At least I was able to get a province with 4 groundskeepers in play. So I am just going to take it there and see what the next hand gave me. I was hoping to find my haggler. I knew I had one coming up, but I didn't quite get there. I obviously would want to haggle treasures as well to get these palace points. I have 1 less estate than my opponent because I used procession on it earlier in the game. Again, I think that was the best thing to do then, but I mean, you can't see and make your own mind up for that, right? But all the estates are warehouses. We both have effectively, I think, 4 warehouses in the deck at this point. The warehouses are more important for me because I have more junk, coppers mostly, so to speak, anyway. So my opponent takes his turn here. We are now at 2 provinces left. I have a slight points lead, so I don't think my opponent is going to take a province here. And it seems like they don't have the greatest of turns anyway, which is fine for them because they play that warehouse very early after just 1 groundskeeper. Of course, there's a lot to keep track of here, right? With knowing your deck, knowing what cards are to come. Apothecary helps make better informed decisions about what is in the remainder of your deck. And here my opponent goes for Duchy and Silver. Again, setting up for some more Palace points. So Duchy and Silver taking a 1-point lead. We'll see what I draw here and if I am willing to take that second to last province or not. So I think this turn has to start with a warehouse. I don't think procession on warehouse is any good. I do have an extra procession to my opponent. I'm not sure if that's good or not. It was okay for most of the game, but I used one of my wishes to gain a procession, to use procession on conspirator, but I was dumb. I could have just used the wish to gain a groundskeeper. Maybe that would have been better. I don't know. Anyways, here I am gonna fish for my haggler, and I would like to get rid of the procession from my deck, the extra procession. So I'm gonna use procession on procession. Conspirator does not find me the haggler, but here I obviously did not want to trash my groundskeeper. It is one of my biggest advantages in the deck. That was a mistake, right? I forgot that I played 2 processions and I ended up unknowingly trashing one of them, and you don't even get like double benefit from it to say that at least there's some consolation. I don't get any action cards, I don't get extra VP at all, and it's not something that I would have done at all there. But I revealed some new information because of that, right? I drew two cards instead of just the one that I would ordinarily draw. So I didn't really feel it was my place to ask for an undo there. I mean, had my opponent offered me an undo, that's a different story. But I didn't think it was my place to ask because I kind of clearly broke the rules by having more information. If my opponent had said, okay, I'm okay with you knowing the extra bit, then okay, that's a different conversation to have. But anyways, I have to play with it now, right? So I am not gonna go for the province primarily because I don't have money for it. I chose not to play the warehouse there, uh, because I didn't want to trigger a shuffle with two warehouses out of the deck. And I am gonna play the ghost. Ghost turns up a warehouse for me, which is not bad, but not the best thing. So far, I've been doing okay with the ghosts. I've been trying to keep track of my deck as best as possible, and I've largely gotten groundskeeper reveals off of the ghost, which is very nice, right? Plus actions, plus cards is very, very good. And my ghost turns have been excellent for me. The warehouse here, we will see, right? I have a good start in hand for it. At least I have two cemeteries that I can discard. So now I'll see if my opponent goes ahead and takes a province or not. I don't really want to play this game where we take duchies. My opponent does, of course, but I think he is better suited to doing that because his deck is a bit thinner than mine. So I would like to end the game as quickly as possible. Here's a bit of an uncomfortable discard. I, in the end, choose to get rid of the Haggler. It doesn't draw, and I have an extra one in the deck somewhere. Maybe I can find it. I feel like I can find it, especially with that Apothecary draw there. Revealing this warehouse, of course, and I do find it. And here, well, the decision is, do you take the province or not, right? I could do something like gold silver for palace points. I could do duchy silver for some more points, right? I do have all my groundskeepers, right? Five here. I had six before the trash, but I only have five here. In the end, I decided to go for maximum points, again not wanting to drag out the game. My opponent showed me earlier too that his deck was kind of failing. He didn't have the greatest of turns a couple of turns ago. So I decided to chance it a bit here, and I calculated as well that, okay, I would be 10 points ahead with this play. He only has 4 groundskeepers, there's no plus buy. The most he could do is get 4 groundskeepers in play and buy the province for a tie, which I would be happy to take. And I think that's difficult for him to get all 4 groundskeepers plus money, given the state of his deck. So I thought I was in good shape here to at least tie the game, worst case scenario. But sadness came through because I missed an ending for my opponent, which he does not miss. Of course, he's very sharp, very good player, and the ending he comes up with here is with Hagla and Leprechaun. So, okay, a lot of things need to fall into place for him to get this. He needs to have the plus actions, which he found with his procession here. The Hagla lets you gain something off the province, and the leprechaun gains gold. So what you would do is play a leprechaun, gain the gold. Hagla comes into play, buy province, haggle silver for an extra 3 points off the palace. And that is the line I missed. I was very sad when I saw him win here. Again, it was not so straightforward for him, right? It's not like it was guaranteed at all. Even playing the Leprechaun to do it. He had two Hagglers. He could have done it with double Haggler more safely, but playing the Leprechaun, like, it could have trashed points from the top of his deck. What if it trashed a cemetery or a province or one of his silvers? You know, it wasn't 100% guaranteed for him, but it was in his favor and it worked out for him. So I lose game one. It was a bit heartbreaking, and I kind of carry that into the rest of the match. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.